and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome here to build up to arguably, and I would say actually not arguably, this is the biggest game of our season to date. It's Barcelona against Lyon in the second leg of our crucial last 16 tie in the Champions League. The score is extremely finely poised, 0-0, heading to the Camp Nou. We know there is no room for error here. We cannot get knocked out. That is not an option, and in today's video, we are going to be putting the sides face to face, head to head, looking at all the tactics and everything you need to know. Ahead of that game, it's the tactical preview, and it's coming right up. But before we get into any tactics whatsoever, guys, I want to talk about mentality, and that for me is just as important as the tactics, because you can set your team up brilliantly. You can have all the players you need to pull off a phenomenal result, but if the players don't have the right mindset, if the coach is not giving them that mindset, that platform to build from, they will not see out the task. They will not carry out your instructions. And I read something yesterday in Sport that basically said Barcelona's objective for the game against Lyon was not to concede. And that is nonsense. That is not the way that we need to approach this game. Yes, I can understand it. We don't want to concede, simply because if Lyon get an away goal, it's very difficult for us, and it's going to make our life difficult. But at the same time, it's not the be-all end-all. We cannot go into this game fearing conceding from the minute go. You've got to go into this game thinking, look, if Lyon score 1, we will score 2. If Lyon score 2, we will score 3. That is what Barcelona can do. We have the players to score more than 1 goal. And let's face it, with VAR, with all the decisions that are going around right now, you don't want to leave it with a 1-goal margin. You don't want to be 1-0 up with a few minutes to go, because you know that any time with this new technology, things can go against you. Things can happen. You can have a penalty given against you, and suddenly you're out. We need to put this game beyond any doubt. Get 1 goal. When you've got 1 goal, get another goal. When you've got that goal, go for another one. Barcelona's philosophy from the very core has always been to attack. Now, we're not going to go crazy. We're not going to be throwing players forward every single minute of the game. But what I'm saying is, you start the game believing that we're going out to win this match. We're going out to take it out of Lyon's hands. We're not going to be sitting there worrying about them scoring. Our objective is to win this game and win it on our own terms. And so if we first of all start with the two teams side by side, looking at what lineups we are likely to see in tomorrow's game, we start with Barcelona here. I think, look, if everybody was fit, if everybody was firing, this is the team right here that Ernesto Valverde would start with. I think there he's very likely to go with Sergio Roberto over Semedo. Roberto was rested for the entire game on Saturday against Rayo Vallecano, and I think he would be there. And of course, if Dembele is fit, Dembele will be starting this game. Will he be fit though? That is the million-dollar question. We don't know yet whether he's going to make this game, and for that reason, of course, I'm going to go over some alternatives with you guys. And first of all, it would be Coutinho. We spoke about it yesterday. He would slot straight into that front three. There wouldn't really be a change in shape. He would operate there from that left-hand side, and it would be a like-for-like change, but they are very different players, as we discussed yesterday, and Coutinho right now is very low on confidence, which would then certainly make you think about other options. One of them, of course, is Malcolm himself, much more similar to Dembele in terms of his style of play, and also there he can operate from this left-hand side. What we might see though in-game is a bit of a change in shape with Malcolm, simply because he is much more suited on that right-hand side. So what you might see here is Lionel Messi coming central, Malcolm here going out to the right-hand side, and just letting Alba really have that wing all to himself, and Malcolm here, whether it be Semedo, whether it be Roberto, them forming a partnership on that right-hand side, where when we have two, we are so much more dangerous. And that's what we could see there with the inclusion of somebody like Malcolm, and in that profile as well. And of course, just like the first leg, there is the chance that we will see both Sergio Roberto and Nelson Semedo starting together down this right-hand side. Valverde does seem to fear that left-hand side, the likes of Mendy, Memphis Depay, and playing Roberto and Semedo does seem like a choice that Valverde could opt with. But like I said yesterday, is that really the best team there, the best outlook for a home performance with some dominance, with some goals? I'm not really sure that's the best option to go with, because what you have here then is a bit of Arthur out on the left-hand side, a bit more wider than he would like to. Busquets and certainly Rakitic there a lot more deeper than he would like to be. You've got Roberto here, but can he really exploit that space down the right-hand side? It didn't really happen in the first leg, and for that reason, I think there, that would be a bit more of a risky move. And when we cross over to Lyon, this is the team they played against Barcelona in the first leg. And I wouldn't really expect too many changes here from Lyon. They would have been pretty pleased with what they saw. And also, of course, they will be heading to the Camp Nou with their star man back in their team. He was suspended for the first leg, but no doubt at all, the man being reintroduced into this team is none other than Nabil Fekir, playing there in that number 10 role just behind Moussa Dembele. Either side there, he's got Depay to the left, Traoré to the right. I think Lyon will want to keep that pace, certainly on the break. You may see a change there at right back, but I think here, looking at that team, that is what we're most likely to see with Lyon coming to the Camp Nou on Wednesday. They can also change in shape as well. They have played 3 and 5 at the back at different points in this season, but I think this here, 4-2-3-1, that's how they're going to set up again. And I think it's only right, really, that we do start by talking about Nabil Fekir and the threat that he really does pose in this kind of game, in this sort of position here. And we absolutely have to guarantee that we stay close to him. Busquets here in this holding role is going to be very, very key indeed. If we are playing 4-3-3, we're going to have to make sure that Rakitic and Arthur are always keeping tabs. Absolutely, Rakitic here can cover in here, because what we saw in the first leg, just for a split second, and it was only one moment really, it was in Dembele here from a deep position. He made that run in here, he was able to carry the ball, we didn't close him down quick enough, and he actually broke through, unleashed a pile driver towards Ter Stegen's goal, and it was very, very close to going in. It was a sensational save from Ter Stegen, tipping it under the crossbar, but that there could have been a big goal for Lyon. And of course, if that happens at the Camp Nou, particularly with Fekir, who has got pedigree from long range, he can hit them from range outside the area, and just like we saw at the Camp Nou on Saturday against Rayo, it can happen, and that there would be an away goal for Lyon. We cannot let that happen. Our concentration in this game has to be at its maximum. You've got to keep tabs on players, you can't let players run off you, you've got to stay nice and tight, nice and alert, because we cannot allow those kind of mistakes on Wednesday night. And also, regard to Lyon is down this left-hand side, simply because they did use this flank so much in that first leg with Mendy here, who's a very, very good left-back, and also Memphis Depay was dropping out to the left and causing problems here and trying to get something. And I want to talk about Malcolm. If Malcolm was included, how would that affect that left-hand side? And again, just like we said against Real Madrid, having somebody here is a lot more of a threat. It puts pressure on Mendy. You got to think about when he goes forward. He's got to think about when he can make that runs and leaving space in behind. Because we played Roberto and Semedo in Lyon, I didn't really think that it stopped that left-hand side. If anything, it actually encouraged it. And also, Malcolm here is going to work hard. Just because he's a more attack-minded player than Sergio Roberto is, it doesn't mean that he won't track back. Because I can absolutely guarantee you that if Valverde sits Malcolm down before the game and he says, look, I'm going to play you here out on that right-hand side, I'm going to play you in a crucial Champions League game, you are starting, but I want you to work back. I also want you to track your runners when Mendy goes forward. I want you to work hard. I want you to work for the team and get back in here when we really need you. And of course then, you can also go, you can also play, you can also attack. And I can guarantee you that Malcolm will say, yes, I will do whatever you want me to do. If you want me to run, I will run. If you want me to track back and then get forward, that's what I will do. He is desperate to play in this game. He is desperate to make an impact at Barcelona. And you can't tell me there that he wouldn't work hard and work for the team, because he absolutely would. And to be honest, for the majority of this game at 0-0 when Lyon come out, I expect them to do something like this. They are going to sit in here. They're going to be quite happy to sit deep, soak up the pressure. They're not going to be committing men forward simply because they'll be playing for time. They will want to stay in this game for as long as possible with the result at 0-0, knowing that one away goal from them could take them through. So I would expect us, particularly with Arthur back in the team, we will dominate this game, and hopefully the majority will be in Lyon's half. What's really important then, say you're playing Coutinho here, say you're playing Suarez, and you've got Messi here, who's going to come inside, try and find those gaps between Dembele and Aouar, who really did track him very, very well in that first leg. But what is absolutely crucial to me is this man here, Ivan Rakitic, and I want to talk about him simply because in this kind of game, when Suarez is going to be marshalled really tightly by the two centre-backs, Coutinho out here is going to struggle to make an impact. You know that he's low on confidence. If he could make something happen, that would be incredible. But obviously, it's not going to be easy given his current form. Messi is always going to be tightly marked. And when you've got all of those key players there surrounded by Lyon bodies, you have to look elsewhere for somebody to make something happen, to create some space and really take advantage. Because with these players surrounded, there must be space elsewhere. And Rakitic is somebody in midfield, particularly in the recent weeks. He got rested on Saturday. That's going to do in the world of good. He is somebody who can come on, make a driving run in here and make a real impact. We saw him on Saturday. He came on within 2 minutes. He'd made that kind of run, got into this kind of area, and when he's in that final third, he is so ruthless. He is so clinical. He sets up Suarez. You saw him against Real Madrid, scoring in this position. And I think there, running from deep when Lyon are so focused on our front three, on Messi, on players here, making the overlaps, they're going to be so focused on all that. All it takes here is a nice deep run from Rakitic. He knows where the space is. He's a very intelligent player, and that could open up Lyon. That could be the difference there. there between scoring that first goal, creating something, and then really forcing Lyon to come out. That's the stage we want to get to. Because for me, this is the ideal situation. We come out, we start on the front foot, we dominate the game, we really do put the sword to Lyon, we score an early goal, and ideally then, just before half-time or midway through the second half, we get that all-important second goal. Because what that will do is, at 1-0, Lyon will still be sitting in, they'll still be waiting and thinking 1 goal and we're going through, no doubt about that. They'll be happy to soak up the pressure, but 2-0, it changes the game entirely, and what we will see is a lot what we saw in the first leg really from Lyon. They do commit men forward, they do push the full-backs on, they will go forward. Traoré is a player who wants to get into the final third, same as Depay, and Moussa Dembele wants to get beyond our defence. You'll see Fekir pushing forward, these two in midfield as well can go, and what you will see is Lyon starting to take risks. At 2-0, they will have to do that. We will have to make runs forward, Mendy here will have to go on the overlap, and if we can win that ball back, we can counter. And you know with these players in the team, if Dembele can play, that would be absolutely ideal, because there's nobody better on the counter-attack than Ousmane Dembele. All that pace here down the left-hand side, he is going to cause enormous problems left or right. He can really make those counters happen. We had the chances in Lyon in that first leg. We could have had goals on the counter, but we didn't work it properly. Suarez at times was breaking them down. He's much better now. He's in a much better frame of mind. He's much more confident, and I think certainly on the counter-attack, if we can get to 2-0, we can really see this game off and ultimately see Lyon off in the Champions League. And so ultimately, guys, that is how I see this game happening between Barcelona and between Lyon. It's all about that mentality. It's all about going into the game knowing that we have to score the goals. The onus is on us. We're at home to go and play, go and be expansive, and ultimately put Lyon to bed. We're in control of our own destiny, so use that. Play the game on your own terms in the true Barcelona way. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think of my approach? What do you think of the personnel? If Dembele can't play, who would you like to see? And what kind of mentality do you believe that we need to approach this game in? Let me know all your thoughts and your comments down below, guys. Of course, I will see you soon for the match preview for this massive game. I am excited and I'm hopeful as well, because believe me, we can do this. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça!